classic song beloved by all from over 13 years ago, and it has kept a dark secret all this time. Our little duck protagonist. Aw, look at the way he waddles! The psychopath. You may be wondering what I'm talking about. This grape-loving duck? Really? You're trying to tell me this is some maniacal creature? Well, this duck is manipulative and relishes in the pain and annoyance of others. If he were selfish, he'd be a full-blown Karen, I swear. But trust me, this duck's actions are not out of self-interest, only for it to get its sick enjoyment. Look at the way this duck annoys and torments these poor people. Well, this duck is just dumb, you might be saying. Well, I have proof that it knows what it's doing. Let's start at the beginning. The duck walks up to the lemonade stand and asks for grapes. 3 times in a row, the man repeatedly tells him they only sell lemonade. You can visibly see the facial expression become more and more annoyed and irritated. On the 4th day, he is livid. He is so aggravated at this duck not getting the message that he threatens to glue him to a tree. The duck says one word, then skedaddles. He seems to clearly understand the threat, as he isn't making any more aggravating remarks. However, after this, we can observe the duck doing something that aggravates the man that cannot be attributed to mere stupidity. This duck knows what he's doing. He has the intelligence and malice to go to the lemonade stand the next day and call his bluff.
Got any glue?
The man looks like he is going to do more than glue the duck at that point. However, this duck has succeeded, perhaps too well. The man breaks down. He laughs hysterically. The man decides to play along, hoping it will remove the duck from his life. Could have never predicted what would have happened next. How his sanity would absolutely shatter. The duck gets his grapes and eats them too, but refuses. He doesn't want grapes. He gets in close and asks if the store has lemonade. What the man has been trying to give him this whole time, only for the duck to refuse, wanting these very grapes that he spat in the man's face. The duck knows what he's doing. Just like with the glue, he is asking a redundant question only for his sick enjoyment of what it will do to the psyche of his victims. We don't even see the man's face when asked this by the duck. The man doesn't move. It's a broken man. But the duck knows this. The duck knows there is no lemonade. The duck only asked this question for the purpose of torture. If he had wanted an answer, don't you think he would have stayed to hear it? These 2 examples of redundant questions show how purposeful this duck's reign of terror is. But this isn't where he stops. This manic spree of his is a serial one. Enter the duck song 2. The lemonade man had made the mistake of spreading this plague. The duck knew there was more world out there for him to destroy. The duck uses his old tactics of asking for grapes at the corner store, but he knew beforehand. He scoped this location out to make sure they had none. This is the way this psychopath functions and thinks. It's his MO. This time, the duck tries a more aggressive approach. When offered a drink, instead, he insults their smell and leaves, which made the cashier frown. This is exactly the result the duck was hoping for. He's becoming more efficient. He does his cyclical torture, coming back each day, asking for grapes, and then leaving. At some point, the duck doesn't even acknowledge what the woman is saying. He just compliments himself and leaves. This duck is trying other ways to drive his victims insane, and you should all be afraid. The final time the duck asked for grapes, the cashier threatened to tape him with duct tape. This time, there was no bluff. He said, "Yes, dear," and runs away. He clearly understood the threat was much more serious this time, but the duck has a power complex. He needs to be the one in control. So he comes back the next day, ready with a new plan. The duck asks for something they do have. Cashier can't get mad at that, right? Well, the duck doesn't have the money for it, so he makes a duck pun and dips. He has gained back the power and left his victim stunned and defeated. The duck won. In the final duck song, he employs his final sadistic plan. He brings both his victims back, one as an unwitting accomplice. This is where the planning and intelligence is most evident. This is where the proof that he isn't just playing dumb is most evident, and that he is truly the sadistic creature I've revealed him to be. He felt his work was not done at the corner store. He needed to take all the power away from the cashier. First, he needs his accomplice. However, the man doesn't want to be bothered further than he already has been. The duck says tear, clearly guilt-tripping the man. He's Stockholm syndromed into liking him. When the man refuses to play the duck's little games again, the duck claims the lemonade man loses. He's trying to convince him the duck is the one who will make him happy to follow, like a cult leader. Eventually, the duck wears the man down. His pattern of unwanted intrusions become clear enough to the man that he indulges the duck. The man even states as much. Now, the duck can put his plan into action. He sends his accomplice in to take away the woman's protection against the sadistic, psychotic ways. When his accomplice questions what he is doing and why the duck wants him to do it, the duck dodges the question and pushes him into the door to commit the deed. Some view this as him trying to set up a relationship for the two, but what happens next proves the duck's ulterior motives. When the man comes out with the duct tape, the duck is finally free to do what he always wanted to do to the cashier, to gain another victim. He walks in and the woman is frowning, enlightened to what is about to occur. The duck asks if she has duct tape. Now defenseless, cashier has to just take it. The duck knew what he had taken from her and was gloating. The woman states what has been going on all along.
No, it's you. You planned all this.
The duck finishes off with his MO and asks for grapes. If this grand plan isn't enough proof for you, then I have one last piece of evidence. The honey bear. This duck song spin-off proves something. The honey bear speaks like a human and has optimism and morals shown within the song. This establishes that the animals within this universe are capable of the same thoughts and actions as a human. The duck has no excuse or dumb animal card to play. 50 seconds into this song, you can even notice the duck hiding in the bush nearby, stalking his next victims, only to be gone after noticing he has been spotted.